Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here, Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is discuss a variety of psychological coaching and emotional topics. We do that almost on a daily basis. Some days we miss some, but ultimately not that often. Um, so today we're going to talk about 6 ways to develop habits of persistence. So, persistence is essential in life. And whether you're raising a child, or you're trying to get your dream job, or you're trying to score that date, or you're trying to overturn a criminal conviction, no matter what you're doing, being persistent is necessary in life because there will be roadblocks. And there are 6 things that one can do to kind of make persistent behaviors more easy on yourself. They're kind of mindset things that you need to focus on. So, the first thing is figure out why it is you want what you want. And so, but more accurately, the first thing would be identify what you cannot live without. So, I know a lot of people talk about defining your wants, defining your needs, defining your desires. All that's great. But what are the things you can't live without? What are the things that in your mind you will not be happy until you achieve, or you will not be satisfied until you achieve? Happiness is a state of mind. Satisfaction is more tied to goals. Now, you should be satisfied with your progress. You often can be satisfied with the steps you take towards your progress. But if you have certain goals that you will not be completely satisfied until you achieve, you're going to fight for them. You're going to be determined to go after them. And then, if you don't know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. It's an age-old saying, but it's valuable, especially here, because you need to stand for something in order to keep moving, and progress is essential to the continued development of a life that's going to be to your liking. The next thing is find out your why. Why do you do what you do? Your why matters more than what you're doing. If I am searching for a new job to provide for someone I love, it's going to be completely different than if I'm searching for a new job because I want to be creative, which is also going to be different than I'm searching for a new job because I want to make 6 figures. In other words, if you can identify why you're doing what you're doing before you start to take actions towards it, you will then have a clearer identity of what actions to take. So, outline action progression steps. Now, the important thing there is action progression. So, action steps are wonderful, but sometimes we try and step too far too quickly. Also, sometimes we're cautious and we try and step too little too quickly. So if I say I'm only going to give this 5 minutes a day, well, then I'm probably going to take like 15 years to get where I want to be. So you have to weigh what you're trying to accomplish or what you're efforting to accomplish in alignment with how much energy and effort you're willing to put into it. Define action steps that are progressive, meaning I will do step A and then step B and then step C and then step D. Now, usually it's a good idea to make your next 3 or 4 steps interchangeable, meaning they don't have to go in a certain order. They're all going to lead to the same place. So if you happen to check C off the list before you check B off the list, it shouldn't be that big a deal. Make sure that the steps you take are linear, meaning they link together in some way. For example, if you're trying to lose weight, it's probably a good idea to cut sugar out of your diet, but probably a bad idea to cut everything but avocados out of your diet. Don't jump so far that you've made your life more difficult or put yourself in harm's way, and then you have made things more consistently overwhelming for yourself. The next step to being persistent is keep a neutrally positive attitude. Now, that sounds confusing, but hold on a second. The challenge for most people is they jump, they take this huge leap, or they try to anyway, from negative, I can't do anything, I'm such a horrible person, to immensely positive, I'm going to do this, I've got it, da 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 da. And that's great in the short term. A boost of positivity is wonderful if you're looking at running a race or something you can do in the next week or two. Because if you have a short term goal, boosts of positivity can sometimes and oftentimes will push you over the metaphoric finish line. However, neutral positivity, which is I always come back to what I know, and that is there are people that are doing better than me, but there are people that are doing worse than me, and my progress matters. That's an example of a neutral positive thought. So there are people that are doing better than me. That sounds negative. There are people that are doing worse than me. Well, that sounds kind of positive. It means I'm doing okay. But I'm making progress towards doing better, gives me hope for a goal I can reach. When we frame our internal self talk into goals we can reach, we create more possibilities for ourselves because the brain will fire towards things that link together as possible rather than jump to things that feel impossible and therefore overwhelm us. So the next is watch who you surround yourself with. If you're trying to be persistent in reaching a goal, surround yourself with two types of people. Number one, supportive people that are creative. Supportive creatives are essential to reaching any goal because they'll look at things the way we don't. And then supportive who are constructive criticizers. Now, constructive criticism can be painful if we're not ready for it. But if we understand rationally that if we're trying to achieve something that we haven't before, it means there's probably skills or ideas or concepts we're missing along the way. And we take the constructive criticizer and we say, you serve a positive use for me. And the positive use for me that you serve is you point out the things I'm not looking at. You point out my blind spots. Then we've created a positive environment. We've created the supportive, which is good. And then we've created the constructive critic, which is also good because it'll help us move forward from the places we can't. Eliminate people who are doubters from your life, at least when it comes to this specific topic of what you're trying to create. So if you have to keep a doubter, for example, a family member or a friend or partner in your life, don't talk about your goals with them. If they ask, how's that project going, say, I'm making progress. It's going in the direction I want it to go. Or I haven't figured everything out yet, but I know that I will. In other words, leave the conversation as quickly as possible. You can merge with their negativity, and that will hurt you in the end. The last is be disciplined about celebrating your progress and create positive habits. So a habit can be formulated in as little as 21 days. A habit can stick with you in as little as 60 to 90 days. Point being, mirror image the people that are doing what you want to do, accomplishing what you want to accomplish, and discipline yourself to both be committed to your project and your process and your progress, but also discipline yourself to celebrate when you make achievements that are notable. One of the biggest reasons people give up on, quit up? That's an interesting word. But anyway, the people give up on their dreams and goals is because they set goals that feel too big, or they set goals that they're not disciplined about doing, and when they don't celebrate the discipline they have shown towards reaching their goals, they quit on themselves. So these are 6 things that will help you become more persistent. If there's another audio that we can build for you, please feel free to ask in the comments below. But keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.